Not one premise concerning the structure of matter is based on fact, but what has been learned through experience should be utilized as a stepping stone to a broader field of knowledge and wisdom, at last establishing a firm bond between man and the nature the Creator gave him. I also inquired on this occasion if I might meet them personally and visit their spacecraft. The response was, "You are not to be impatient. When the time is right, you will be contacted in person. You may board our craft." There is much studying to be done, much work to do. At this time I did not even slightly perceive of the magnitude of their reference to study and work. Ever before us is work to be done. I have learned that you merit such a privilege as a contact. All that we receive comes to us through an immutable process of divine law. We bring into our lives the fruits of our actions and thoughts. We earn the right by becoming worthy of each honor bestowed upon us. Nothing is handed out to us on a silver platter. We must make an effort, then we will be rewarded accordingly. If man had been given all things without effort on his part, he should have been robbed of the whip of necessity, and would have stagnated rather than developed to the position where he now stands. Next I inquired as to what I might do to be of service, and was given to understand that I would be directed, that we are all working as one with the Creator. I was referred to Mr. George-Adamski as my advisor, and directed to hold group meetings, as people of Earth must know more about people of other planets. It was also suggested at this time that I should not persuade anyone to attend the meetings. Let them know, for there is no soul that should not have the opportunity to advance and learn the truth. Any one individual should not be restrained because another is not ready to advance. Such a person should be put aside until the time is right for him to accept the truth. The group meetings began with a good attendance, though comprised mostly of curiosity seekers and skeptics, and they dropped out one by one and a few at a time until only a handful of true seekers were left. My helpers and I felt no little chagrin until our brothers comforted us with, "Only a few are on the right path. You have not failed where many others have. Your efforts have not been casted. There is an upsurge, a great will among only a limited number on this earth, for the elimination of negation from their lives, and for a greater knowledge of man, his life, and relationship to the vast universe in which he dwells. There are other key groups all over the world, quietly working and meeting regularly with no public fanfare, each group varying in size as to number of followers. Our brothers suggested that I study. I had been reading material published by the Brotherhood of the White Temple, Incorporated, and they approved of it as being the highest source of truth teachings available in the Western Hemisphere. When I inquired, should I direct my group to the same source, they assured me there are no better teachings. The people of Earth should study and understand the laws of nature and the way of the Creator. They should learn to love the Creator and attain a happier way of life. This work is like a torchlight held high in the darkness, for it is untampered by scheming clergy bent on power. In it, those desiring deeper insight, those who wish to be workers of the New Age, will find a plan of action by which to help prepare the way for a new and better world, emerging from the ruins of the old. Unlike most teachings, it has an applicable system, whereby one may grow in knowledge and attainment, gaining an understanding of himself and his fellow man. Attainment does not mean eternal rest, but rather an opportunity and ability to do more and greater things. Since the majority of religions are circumscribed and considered to be all the truth, and there is nothing that can be added and nothing that can be taken away, I desire unpretentiously to propagate this one teaching in particular, ancient wisdom, a cosmic teaching. It is not my intent to imply that there are no other worthwhile teachings, for there are other orders and brothers, each in their own way becoming channels, either knowingly or unknowingly, through which the divine may manifest. But despite what we may have chosen to study, we should not confine ourselves to a limited knowledge of the planet Earth alone, but to an overall understanding of the cosmos, of the whole. In gratitude to our brothers, and filled with humbleness and gladness, I share this treasured advice with you, dear reader, that you may, if you are ready, enter upon the path of light. Our brothers, the guardian of Earth, referred me to this particular teaching because it concerns cosmic and universal law, and its relation to man. The messages of ancient wisdom will help regain the spirituality that was our original heritage before the fall of man, help us set our goal and attain our oneness with that power we call God. You may question, and rightly, why we should be concerned with anything so ancient as ancient wisdom teachings. Remember that all the concepts of God that the modern Christian has are derived from the ancient teachings. The source and the God were the same. When speaking of ancient records, I am not talking about the ancient books of history that the average man has access to, because the literature of the ancients has in part been destroyed or lost to modern man. As an example, the 105 books of history of ancient Rome rest today in the vaults of the Vatican, because it is not well for people to know too much. These ancient records reveal too much of the prehistory of mankind and of things that upset the old accepted theories of science and theology. It has always been the policy of certain institutions and organizations in the world to destroy or hide knowledge. It has always been the policy of others to preserve it. The books of secrets have been restrained from the public. We can get references by studying the ancient works that are available, but the real things have always been hidden from the mass of people. Throughout the ages past, the mysteries were not a mystery to those who were worthy to receive them. If asked why this knowledge of man, his destiny, and his potential powers has been concealed and reserved for the few, we shall answer and say that the acquisition of all forms of knowledge which give power requires a period of preparation, and that it is better so, i.e., we would not permit an ignorant person to be in control of an electrical power plant, and for good reason, and obvious reasons. Such a person would be a danger to himself and to others. Ancient wisdom, the secret knowledge of man and all concerning him, is not just speculative metaphysical hypothesis, but scientific empirical knowledge. There are secrets as much more powerful than the atom bomb as the atom bomb is more powerful than a firecracker. For that reason, the secrets, the eternal truths, have been preserved and well guarded down through the ages by certain custodians of the mysteries. It is now time that this ancient wisdom be brought forth into the open for dissemination. The mysteries will no longer be concealed from anyone who seeks. The great truths will no longer be hidden by dark and concealing parables. Those who will to understand will be clearly given the laws under which man lives and has his being. For too long, most of us have just accepted what we are told to believe, accepting too much without investigation. After all, so much conflicting information has been made available, so many half-truths and faulty premises, that it behooves us to study and learn the truth instead of allowing ourselves to be lulled to sleep or to be deceived and inveigled by those who make mysteries and millions and achieve self-gratification out of possibilities borrowed from the truth. Disbelief and criticism and constant denials have kept the facts of interplanetarians from the public, causing confusion and making way for falsifications and impostors who have misled many. Let desire be our keynote to the finding out of truth. There are a variety of truth seekers, those who are just beginning to realize that churchianity is stalemated, and to question cultural traditions and old established dogmas, creeds, and theories, and those who are more advanced in their understanding, having stepped aside from the ordinary flow of mass consciousness,